this is how to measure the gauge of your knitting and why you would want to do that. So what gauge means is the amount of stitches you have over a certain amount of distance, let's say. So typically the amount that you're going to want, or the measurement that you're going to want, is a 4" by 4" swatch, it's called. So sort of a square of that amount. That's just enough to sort of give you a clear idea of how many stitches you actually have per inch. So it's pretty standard to see a 4 by 4 measurement laid out for you. So what we're going to do here is we'll just have a little look. So there are sort of fancier tools that you can get that will, it's sort of like a 4 by 4 square, so that you just lay it on there and then you don't have to fiddle with the measuring tape. But I don't have one, I just use my measuring tape. So we'll just go with that for now. So laying this on here, we're looking at, in this case, our knit stitches. So I'm looking for the very start of one of the V's, lining that up with my 0 for now. And then I'll just count across, going over to that 4" mark. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So something like 9-ish on there. And then we'll just turn it the other way and we'll look for our 4" going up here. This way is a little bit trickier, especially as you're sort of getting used to reading your knitting and knowing what you're looking at. So you just want to find, in this case, another set, or choose a set of V's going up, and then you'll know where your start and your end is. So I'm going to go with this start of this little V down here, and with our 0 there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, so about 14 going up there. So my gauge is something like 9 stitches going across by 14 stitches going up, or 14 rows it would be counted as. So 9 by 14 in my 4 by 4 square. So that's what this would give. Because this is such a big yarn and because I did it with such big needles, it is there's not many stitches in that amount. If you were doing something with a much finer yarn and smaller needles, you would have lots more stitches, something like, 20, or depending, but on sort of a medium weight yarn, it would be something like 18 to 20 stitches in those 4 inches, something like that. So the reason all this is important is because everyone knits differently with a different tension. I tend to knit tightly. I have a tighter tension. So I know for me that I sometimes will have to adjust my needle size or the amount of stitches I'm putting on, because I will end up with a smaller item because I've knit those stitches more tightly together. And that's just how I am. It's hard to change that. Some people can, but I have not been able to. So I just adjust for it. With a hat like this, the gauge doesn't matter so much, because we're using such a thick yarn and such big needles, and a hat is stretchy anyways. You have sort of some room either way. Whether you're knitting too big, it'll just be a little bit looser, but probably still fine. The brim is stretchy for you. If you knit more tightly, it might be a little bit more closer fitting, but you should be okay either way. And honestly, I don't check my gauge a whole lot. It matters much, much more for something that you're going to wear, like a sweater or anything fitted, especially tops. That's when I do this for sure, because you don't want to knit a whole sweater and then find out your gauge was off and it doesn't fit, because that would be super frustrating. So this is just sort of an introduction to it. Like I say, for a hat like this, it doesn't matter a whole lot, but it's good to know about it and what it is, and if you did want to check it, you could. Yeah, but that's how to check your gauge and why it matters, or maybe not so much.